Alright, unfortunately, all that work was just to get across half of the lake, because we didn't think to go around the dang thing.
Dang,
We could easily have gone around it.
Thanks a lot, Grim.
Yeah, he only took us halfway across the lake. Also, why can't we could have just gone around the dang thing.
Sorry, I was...
Rhino tours sunk this ancient town. Wait, did it rise up again? Oh, the town needs to make up its mind.
Oh, come on.
Interesting.
I'm trying to I was trying to come up with the excuse that taxi drivers do, but I was kind of blanking on what they usually spit out.
Oh, that is actually fun fact. That actually happens in La Milana 2. You meet Sharon, the guy who ferries souls across the dead, and he only will accept payment if you have 1 gold. But if you give him 1 gold, he only takes you halfway across the river. He's like, that's as far as 1 gold will get you.
God damn it.
And it's like, Jesus. It's funny. But anyway, here we go. So, oh, you
Aesthetics.
See you back at home, Danny.
So these guys. So once again, similar to the bells in the hedge maze, these things will either fire out water bursts at me or actually alert troops. But I need troops to fill up my chalice, so I'm just gonna say screw stuff.
Actually, you don't need to do that.
What?
If you kill them before they detect you, then you automatically get whatever chalice fodder you get from the mooks that it spawns.
Well, seriously, they'll give you 20-some%, because that's how much all the mooks would have given you altogether. Oh,
yes.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know. And you. Well, we could have saved a little time doing that, but no, Logan wants to do it the hard way.
I might as well show all these guys off. They're these weird turtle guys, which are annoying because they'll turtle up the second they're close. The second you get too close to.
I hate these things too with a fiery passion.
Because they get so much invincibility frames, unless they're just about to attack you. It's kind of annoying, and you'll waste your magic sword. And
really makes you wish you had a sword that didn't need to waste magic, huh?
One day. So anyway, so while I keep sending more people like a Ninny, now that I'm realizing how I could have done this, Jordy, what were some of your experiences with horror? Because I forgot, because just to continue that conversation from the last part.
Well, I don't know my very first experience with horror, but one that I can think of from the top of my head is I used to watch these lamb chop puppet videos by Sherry Lewis when I was a kid, and one in particular was a Halloween special that was a spoof of Phantom of the Opera called Lamb Chop in the Haunted Studios. It was quite compelling and visually pleasing in horror.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it, but just seeing, the actor who played as the Phantom was quite compelling, and especially because he was an older man, so just that combined with the horror aesthetics alone made it more creepy. But it was also quite fun. Alan Thicke and John Biner were in that movie. They were Dracula and Frankenstein.
I'm sorry,
That's interesting.
With Logan not knowing that you can actually kill off the sirens before unleashing all the horrors. I can just imagine in my head, when Dan's actually go through the level, he's sort of and just fucking nags him.
Just charge them through hey,
he's literally a decoy in the game of life.
I'm stealthy. Die.
Yeah, but
honestly, if Matt were here, he probably would give you more shit about it than I would.
Assuming he cares.
I didn't know he cared. I didn't know he played this game. Sorry, go
ahead.
Well,
no, just the matter of fact that he's a huge buff with stealth games.
Ow. Yeah. What was that, Jordan?
Just real talk here going back. It's still hard to believe that Alan Thicke passed away a few years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been a lot of people have been it.
The last thing I saw him in was on an episode of Chopped Jr. that happened a few years back, and I'm just
oh
my god, I can't believe he's dead.
I mean, was he pushing up in age or something?
I don't know what it was. It was either an overdose or some. I gotta look it up. Hold on, I'm gonna go look this up right now.
Okay.
While you do that, I'll finish my thought, which is that my first experience with horror was that it could have been a number of things. Movie-wise, I think the first truly scary movie I ever saw that actually freaked me out was either the first Gremlins or no.
Oh yeah, fuck those fish, by the way.
Yeah, you gotta be quick. is either Gremlins or it also could have been the Black Cauldron.
Oh God, I actually just watched that movie recently because of
Oh,
my
it
whole
is on Disney
binge.
Plus.
Yeah, through Disney Plus, and
That's
I
interesting.
mean, that's a movie I think is both very interesting, but also makes you realize why it was such a commercial flop in the first place.
Well, because yeah, like when you see it, it's like everybody went to it and everyone was kind of. I think the one review kind of summed it up best, which was that Disney. A lot of people went to it kind of just expecting a nice Disney movie.
Yeah, and there's also just the matter of fact that, like, as a movie itself, there's a lot of flaws with it.
It's
Though at the same time, though, you could clearly tell that this was pretty much the whole turning point for Disney in terms of their animation department. Just because it feels like the first to really try for that kind of style that would be much more prevalent in, like, The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast and so on.
Right.
Like, that was definitely the first one.
I remember. Oh, jeez. Okay, died. I'm gonna go with Magic Longbow now because it does a lot of damage, more than my sword does. But I remember. Die. Thank you. I remember like some set pieces, like of course when he uses the cauldron to raise the dead. But
Oh yeah.
And
His death scene.
and the details of the army dying and decomposing right before but. I just remember there's also a lot of fluff. Like, there's a lot of when they're just walking around, there's just a lot of talking and nothing. There's a lot of slow points.
There's literally no, like, one problem I definitely have with the movie is that, like, what was the name
There
of
we
the
go.
main characters? The main
Oh,
characters.
actually, real quick. Now that we have cast this magic, the lake.
It's frozen.
More
But
like
not
it just
just-
pauses.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not like it froze over like ice. It literally, oh, jeez, there goes my shield.
Oh.
It's literally stopped the water flow.
Well, now we can go through it without any hassle. But, yeah, just trying to remember. What was the name of the main character again? In,
I almost called him Torin, but that's another game by Sierra.
I think it might have been Torn or something like that. Whatever the
I'm
case.
looking up now. We'll go ahead.
The side characters that accompany him are practically pointless.
They're just kind of there for fluff. Terran.
Taryn, thank you, Taryn. Yeah, like beyond like one really interesting bit, like when they first meet, the princess character barely does anything. The fucking bard that accompanies them doesn't do jack shit until the very end. And
Gurgi is the
most annoying one, and yet is ironically the most pivotal of the. Oh yeah, that's a sea elephant.
They have elephant dragons in this lake. See? It's kind of weird and eerie to see it just, especially in the PS1 when it was like just out of the, because it was like the draw distance, it would just kind of appear, but it's very, oh here, I'll show you again.
Honestly, we're practically walking in a fucking Disney movie scene right now.
It's so weird, but yeah, they're kind elephant dragons, but it's just kind of, it's so
It
eerie
does
to
look
see.
like a woozle or a heffalump.
A heffalump. But it's
yeah.
so eerie to see. But yeah, no, it should, as James said, it should say something when freaking when you look at the poster and you have to realize Gurgi is the most significant of the bunch.
Yeah, and he's a fucking pest until the very end.
There is a reason, because he has a whole redemption arc, but yeah, there's a
He does,
there's a
which,
reason
I mean,
why.
it's a good redemption arc. It's just that, beforehand he's just, well, the typical pest.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Disney would rather have referenced the princess from Brave, even though they made the joke about how she's not from their company. There's a reason why they referenced Merida, whatever, from Brave, as opposed to the princess from Black Cauldron and the Wreck-It Ralph sequel.
Is she technically a princess?
She's you mean Merida or the girl from Black Cauldron?
The one from Black Cauldron.
They call her a princess, but they don't really. It's like one of those. It's like a throwaway thing more than anything.
Her name's like Island Way or Island Y or something.
Princess Island Way or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, she is technically a princess, but again, they don't really do much with that.
That does remind me of when one
also,
of my. Ooh.
Actually, real quick, one other thing I just remembered. She had this really bitchin' fairy friend at the very beginning, but then they practically dropped that like after that whole sequence.
That was how like she found them or something. And
Right.
but yeah, real talk. Like I think John Hurt did an incredible job as the Horned King. So much intimidation and.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things where like I wish that Disney made more references because actually no, what am I talking about? Freaking Did you know that, I think it's in Japan only, but did you know that there actually is a movie, there was actually a ride attraction where the Horned King actually did try to, like, you actually had to face off against the Horned King?
Interesting.
That
And
is
like there was an animatronic, and like it was deemed too intense for kids, but like the Horned King was like trying to curse you to join his army of the undead, and it was. I'll see if I can look it up, but yeah, it was pretty cool actually. I'll see if I can find it later.
I also remember his sidekick being fairly all right, and honestly, it's
the
like
Goblin guy, yeah.
With the way that guy moves, he really would not be out of place in a movie like, say, well, Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast.
Right, but yeah, looking at okay, screw these guys. I got the chalice. I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah, looking at the Horned King, looking at that, like when I think of Dragon's Lair, I think of Black Cauldron a lot actually with the art direction.
Funny coincidence, considering that Dragon's Lair came out like a few years beforehand.
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
interesting. Huh. Okay, so I mentioned that Black Cauldron. Video game wise, I think my main exposures to horror as a kid was a game called Nightmare Ned. It's also
that
a Disney
sounds
game.
familiar. Yeah.
We've talked about it before.
They actually had a TV show, but apparently it was literally something where the TV show just, I guess, was too expensive to make or something where... actually...
Oh, yes!
Here's the Scotsman.
Actually, I think he's Irish.
You'll see.
Wait, listen to my favorite part. I don't have one.
What? Daniel, man, you can't go into battle against an army of undead without a magic sword. Here,
Oh.
take mine. You'll never have to sharpen an
Okay,
other
maybe
blade.
he is Scottish.
Oh, my name's not Dick Steadfast. It's not enough just to have a magic shield, you know. No
Back down
matter
to think
what
about it.
that soft
I think
ticket
Stern-
card says.
You know I can hear from all the way over here!
I think both him and
Go into battle
Sorry,
with
go ahead.
teeth
I think
like
both him and
that
Sterngard
shield
are
of his.
voiced by the same dude.
Knowing this game, they most likely are.
Like they have the same.
guy
They
who-
have the same tone. It's just that their accents are a lot different.
Damn. Check it out, a magic sword.
Oh yeah, easily the best weapon in the game. Guard it with your freaking life. Well,
Yeah, 'cause
or lack thereof.
Because sticky fingered imps can still nab it. But yeah, this sucker is about as powerful as a fully enchanted sword, maybe even a little bit more powerful.
Oh
but
god, I just
all the
realized
time.
real quick. If
Yeah?
you do end up getting that thing nabbed by a sticky-fingered imp, reset your game immediately. Because that shit costs... To get it back costs like around 2,000 gold.
I had that happen in my first playthrough once.
Oops.
It was a bad time.
It was not pretty.
I was not
and
happy.
it was in this level, and I'm going to explain what room it happens in.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean it
it's
happened in the recording too?
No. But it was in this level, and I'll show you what room in this level. Yeah, a great dragon lies somewhere within this cave.
I know what part you're talking about. I think that happened to me too, but I was actually... But, I mean, in my playthrough, I was able to get it back without it being lost
Okay.
forever.
I remember. Yeah, and the axe is really good against these guys. If you get it on both swings, they die. They're weak. But anyway, I think I remember outright warning you. I was like, now, James, there's one part where the camera is going to be your worst nightmare. Because it's a fixed camera, and it hides the fact that there's an imp right around the corner.
Yeah,
I'm just
it was
seeing
devious.
I'm just seeing all these crystals, and I'm like, who needs that smelly bandicoot? I have all the crystals I need right here.
I'm moving in.
This is my house now. You don't pay for the rent. Go away.
Just hide. Just slams the door, and with a sign saying "out to lunch."
Who is this lost sassy child?
I can already imagine, like, some sort of quarrel between Uka Uka and Cortex over the ownership of the house.
But yeah, just imagine one of the gargoyles just reacting to what Cortex is saying, and he's just like, "Who is this little sassy child?"
Who is
With a
this?
beard.
Well, it's your one to talk. At least I have a full body.
Oh, screw you.
Yellow belly yank.
Anyway, going back a bit, I just looked up how Alan Thicke passed away. It turns out he had what was it called again? An aortic dissection at the Providence St. Joseph Medical Center.
Oh, geez. It was like accidental malpractice.
I think so, yeah. And after...
Also, actually, Laura, thing. These are the Rhino tours that sank the great city that we were in previously. There's a lot of build up around them, but they go down to the sword fast.
Well, yeah, your magic sword anyway. If you don't have that, then, well, first of all, shame on you.
Rough.
Secondly, yeah, they are very rough.
Yeah, go ahead, Jordy.
Anyway, the very last thing he was on before he died was growing pains, and on the day of his death, the cast, including Leonardo DiCaprio, they gathered together at his funeral, and a eulogy was given by Bob Saget.
Wow.
And also, I just realized something, and I probably should have connected this further, but Robin Thicke, aka Singer and Judge on The Masked Singer, is his son.
Oh, cool. I mean, and that's the cool thing. Like, that's so crazy. Like how relatives like are like that, or how relatives you'll find. Like, for instance, like the fact that freaking wasn't it like, I don't know. I think it was the guy who, if I'm correct, the guy who directed the Warcraft movie, the World of Warcraft movie, freaking I think it was Bob Marley's son.
Oh, wow.
No, wait, no. You
You
Never
mean
mind that.
Ziggy Marley, or?
No. Actually, backing up, I got my relatives confused. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Okay, go
Anyway,
ahead, continue.
I meant that it. Jeez, I feel so dumb. I apologize there. I believe Bob Marley's son did a cool little mashup song with Skrillex one time, which was pretty cool. But no, sorry. The director of Warcraft, the movie about the Warcraft games, is David Bowie's son.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
It's kind of it's cool to see like where they all like how they all like moved around and did different things. But
Yeah.
anyway, now that I've taken care of the enemies, it's time to take care of the thing that the little title of this level was talking about, and
Yeah,
the reason why we've
absolutely.
been trying to get the dragon gems this entire time.
Yep, we're finally gonna put those two rubies to work.
It's kind of hard to see that, but yeah, here we are. This
All this
is-
treasure.
all the loot is mine. And
And
a
a
star
star
room,
room.
which I need, which
So
we
you
do
do
need to leave this
you did
place.
need to come here to progress.
Right. But this is where it would have ended. And actually, I'm gonna probably want this club because it's faster. But let's see.
The mean old dragon can be summoned by inserting 2 dragon gems into the eye sockets of the relief. The grouchy dragon doesn't come out much, as he is afraid of the roof collapsing over his head.
Wow, thanks
Oh,
for
come
giving
on,
away
that's
the
an
whole
old
boss.
that's an old superstition.
Thanks for giving away the whole boss. But yeah, for now, I'm going to wait a minute.
Wow.
Equip the club.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give him the chicken.
Dude,
You could also use the hammer in this fight, I think.
I'll use the hammer then. Well, I can.
now we'll give it the.
Yeah, you could use the hammer, or you could use the club because it's faster.
Here it is.
Anyway,
Hello.
Hello.
Who dares to enter my lair and wake me from my
oh, so he's
Oh my
Scottish.
god, the way he emotes while he talks.
Yeah.
Yourself, little man. I shall roast the flesh from your
they had to-
bones.
There's no flesh.
Oh,
Yeah, they had to work with what they had.
well, in that case, I will pluck out both your eyes. Oh,
Oh.
I'm just gonna give you a good hiding.
All right, let's rock.
I
Okay.
would love is like, I'm just gonna give you a good hiding. Bends over.
So here's the whole thing behind this fight. Pay attention to all the little crystals that are on the ground. Whack whatever's in correlation to the crystals up top where the dragon is currently hiding.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna use the club because it's a bit faster. You'll see.
it's faster.
So-
Yeah.
It lets me whack the ground almost instantly. But yeah, so so the red crystal's above him. So whack the ground near the red crystals.
I'm not gonna lie,
And
I
so on
never
and so
saw
forth.
the crystals above the places. I always thought it was more randomized.
I thought
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
so too, but when you really pay attention to the entire layout, that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you see, he'll mix up the pattern of where he's going. So make sure that you're able to move fast. And again, the club I think is very good. Oh geez, the
Whoa,
club
we're
is
on
very
fire!
good. Yeah, but yeah, I think the club is excellent to get fast hits in. Dang it.
Oops.
Oh jeez.
You know, if you really wanted to make such an imposing threat to Sir Dad, he could have just said he was going to roast the bones off of your whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Or
he's
munch him.
fast.
Oh yeah, or just munch his bones.
Pretty much. I mean, he didn't have to really push it.
Well, that would kind of defeat the joke. That
I
you
know. They wanted to be
Oh,
funny,
boy.
and I mean, honestly, the voice already sells it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just after all this, oh there's the enter my left.
By the
Freaking
way-
like Sean Connery.
Yeah, seriously. By the way, I believe
there.
this is the last dragon left in existence.
I think so, but don't worry, we're not gonna kill it. We just need to teach it a good lesson in manners.
Dude,
Like so.
Anna, I yield. Really hot.
Not really hot.
Here,
oh,
take this dragon potion and leave me alone. Drink it when you need it. Gives you armor that is impervious to heat.
That's good.
Plus, it lets you breathe fire.
Nice.
Thanks.
And off he goes. But yep, this is incredibly useful because we absolutely need this to beat the game.
Oh yeah, this is mandatory. So, like it or not, you gotta fight the Durgan.
It lets me breathe fire, which is okay, but Magic Sword's far more powerful, which is why, unfortunately, and again, thank God for the triangle button, because when you have the dragon armor, you can't wield a weapon. But now I can do this, and haha,
Yeah.
I'm now basically equipped to beat this game.
I will say that,
Chalice.
like, it's a completely optional strategy, but I think I remember seeing somewhere that if you're able to combine the dragon armor with the strafing motion, you can actually be able to mow down enemies pretty efficiently with it.
Oh yeah, because you can keep mobile. Anyway, this room, once I activate the star room, is why I am going to very carefully, for no reason whatsoever, remove my magic sword and put on this sword.
Because God forbid you need that anymore.
Because, and I'm just gonna start filling. There,
Right.
see, freaking. Where is he?
Dang it, sticky fingers.
There he is. Okay.
Recovered
yeah,
the bronze.
that there got me, and I assume also James, because that camera does not tell you that, hey, there's a sticky finger in him right there, and it's right near the exit, which means he can just run through the exit, and bam, you've lost your weapon.
By the way, I wanted to mention this back when we first met up with the. Oh, God damn it! Hey, Cargwell.
Make a wonderful tourist attraction. Come see Stengard the Mighty. Come and see the last of
Yeah, I
the
know, it's been a while since
Sith
he's talked. Oh,
Oh, and see that dork over there? That's Daniel Fortescue, would-be hero.
I do love, he's all like, see that dog? That's Daniel Fortescue. Oh, why don't we point and laugh at him?
That's Daniel Fortescue.
Oh God, guys, we're
What?
gonna meet our last hero.
Oh yeah, freaking heck, you're right. Hang on,
Who wants to meet Mommy Dearest?
I said, come on.
Well, just as
Again.
soon as you make her mad by tipping all the
Yeah.
cups.
Again, pretty awesome freaking metal story behind her induction into the Hall of Heroes.
There
Oh,
you are. I was so worried about you.
where?
I know you have the heart of a hero, Daniel. Now we must show the others.
Aw,
Would you like to take my magic lightning bolts?
Dang.
I don't have many, but they're very powerful.
that's rock.
Off you pop then, and keep your chin up.
And if you see my son, tell him to pick up his things
People of Daniel.
and hightail it out of the sleeping village.
And
Wait a minute.
we are now Thor.
Yeah, pretty much. And
So
I
we
forget
can
if this was a
use,
thing
like-
in the original game, but in the remake, I think you can replenish your stock by talking to the gargoyles.
I did
think
not know
you
that.
can.
I've always treated it as like, okay, do be very careful. I don't know what its alt fire does also, but yeah, basically a lot of magic lightning bolts, but I'll probably stick to the magic longbow for now. But again, freaking metal story that the freaking she was defending against an entire invasion with a freaking pitchfork in one hand, clutching her baby in the other, and the god so moved by it gave her freaking lightning powers.
Makes me wonder how many of that pack that she was able to take out before she did it.
I don't know, actually, yeah. But definitely had to have been moving enough to get the job done. But yep, with that, we have now met every single hero. And unfortunately, we've gotten pretty much every single significant upgrade we can in the game. From this point onward, it's just going to get, we'll get some
Golden
cool little
vials from
goodies.
here on out.
Yeah, goodies, some gold, but we'll keep our fingers crossed for some health bottles. Those are good.
Keep our sticky fingers abound. Anyway, on that note, see you all for the next part.
See ya.
Bye.